Hey everybody, welcome. Happy Sunday. I know I've been gone for a few days, but last Sunday on Mother's Day, I lost my voice. So I had to take a few days off and recover my voice. And as I lost my voice, and I was guided to see exactly what that meant spiritually. Um, I got an intuitive message to go within, all right? So, because it was kind of sudden, you know, I I thought I was loud, but then I asked my mom, she was like, no, you was chilling, you was talking to your sister, chilling. So I was like, yeah, I don't know why I lost my voice all of a sudden. And I was guided to really go within and, you know, get some shit aligned within me. So maybe you guys have been going through something the same, trying to align yourself more, or Spirit's been pushing you to align yourself more, all right, to ground yourself, okay, in particular, your throat chakra and your root chakra, okay, because I was guided to be outside, to garden, to do my yard, you know, to get the sun early in the morning, cleansing and rooting and balancing, all right? So some of you guys could be going through the same thing, all right? Just make sure that you're, you know, if your spirit guides are telling you to balance, all right? 133 on the timer. Okay, so welcome. I am Suli from Ascending Above Tarot 1111. Here we focus on your spiritual growth, all right? Okay, so I have a channeled message, all right? Last night, was it last night? Hold on. No, not last night. The night before, okay, I had a dream. And in my dream, I was in the spirit realm. Well, you know, I say dream so that people would understand, but I was in the spirit realm, all right? And I was inside my house, and I had the front door open, okay? And, a black cat came to the door, all right? Now, I love cats, all right, because I love cats, all right? 222 on the timer. But a black cat came to the door, and when I seen the cat, it gave me an energy of a dark entity, okay? Now, I don't usually see cats as, you know, anything, you know what I'm saying? Cats are very spiritual, all right? Their gifts are above and beyond. A lot of witches, a lot of spiritual people have cats, all right? They provide very good spiritual protection to your home, mostly if you are a practitioner or a witch, or, you know, highly spiritual and practice spirituality, all right? Okay, so in the dream, I seen the cat, and the cat was just looking like, you know, he was like a dark entity, all right? So in the spirit, I rebuked the cat in the name of God, and I told it, all right? I told it, well, I told him, because I said him in the dream. I told him he was not allowed in my home, all right? Okay, so when I got up, I was guided to come to, you know, to my altar and talk to my spirit guides to see what it was, and it was definitely something trying to get in. Some of you guys have been going through a cleansing time, all right? You've been, you know, rejuvenating, you've been doing the work, all right? Your shadow work, you know, God has really worked in your life, all right? And it shows, all right? People can see it, all right? I'm talking to somebody who's done a lot of work, okay? I'm talking to somebody who, you know, you've experienced peace after a time of turbulence in the near past, all right? Like, in the past, you've had, like, a rocky time, okay? You could have lost it all, and you had to rebuild from scratch, okay? And, you know, you did it. 424 on the timer. You did it. Most High guided you to build again, and you did it. You built with him, all right? Now, I feel like in the recent past, all right, you've been experiencing peace, harmony, all right? You could be already in a relationship with a divine counterpart, all right? But you've been growing and forming a solid foundation, all right? I feel like break is over, okay? Maybe you had, like... Okay, maybe I said that wrong. Okay, I feel like in the last few months, all right, you've been experiencing peace. Things have been putting and coming together very nicely in your life, all right? God is showing you favor. 511 on the timer. You've worked hard for what you've got, and God is showing you favor at this time, all right? So what I was told by my spirit guides is you're about to go through a season of warring, okay? Because the higher you ascend, all right, the more aligned you are, the more that demons, dark entities, the devil, whatever you want to, whatever, the more that the darkness tries to overcome your light, all right? So this is where you're about to start some, going through spiritual warfare, because you grew so much and ascended so much beautifully. Beauty is here, charming, graceful, kind-hearted. Because of this energy that you're in, all right, you've manifested some really good things for yourself, all right? Spirit is saying that you're about to go through a season where everything that you've learned is going to be tested, okay? If you're a practitioner, you're going to be tested in practitioner stuff, all right? If you are a high priestess, you're going to be tested in those type of things. If you are, whatever Most High guided you to step into, whatever your north node is, you're about to start like receiving tests, all right? To see like where exactly you're at, okay? You're about to start going through some real spiritual tests, okay? Now, I definitely do see you passing these tests, okay? You've ascended very much, okay? You definitely... Oh, sorry, my mom was texting me. She said she wanted to give me some flowers. You guys, I'm just going to share this. This is going to be a long video, okay? I'm going to share this, all right? The beauty and open heart at the bottom of the deck, all right? Triggered in the reverse, hoping, yep. It's amazing how we all know that when we go through a spiritual awakening, okay, you start losing people, okay? People start kind of leaving and walking away because they're no longer vibrating in your vibration. You're vibrating higher than them, all right? And you've been put on a path where most of the time the people that usually surround you can't go with, at least, for a while. Most of us, we get used to saying, oh, as you ascend, the people around you will disappear, you'll be left with a few people or close to none, okay? But that truly has not been my experience. I'm gonna say this, from a very karmic family, all right? And I have also experienced that as I went through my awakening, they started going through their awakening, like everybody. 811 on the timer. Everybody in my home, in my family, meaning not inside my home, but my mom's house, my brothers and sisters, my dad, everybody started going through an awakening, a spiritual awakening, okay? And, the first one that actually showed themselves to be going through a spiritual awakening and started talking to us about it was my mom, all right? But I was already going through my spiritual awakening. And the crazy part about it is, when I started my spiritual awakening, when God called me, I was in her home. I was living in her home because I had lost it all. I lost my home. I lost everything. I lost my job, everything. I lost it all. 31 years old. I'm at my mom's house, all right? With my 4 kids, okay? And, that was the beginning of my awakening. As soon as I moved in, she started going through an awakening too. It was like my awakening awoken the bloodline, 9/11 on the timer, all right? But I started noticing that we were all, trying to break generational curses. And although our beliefs weren't exactly the same, they're very much in the same kind of place, all right? We're all getting to, like, the same understanding, all right? And Most High showed me, like, you are a generational curse breaker. I am the oldest, all right? And I am considered the black sheep of the family. I always had, but I feel like Honestly, until now. Honestly, that never even bothered me because I've always been a free spirit. I didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I lived my life. That's just what it is. I lived my life, away because I've always had my own things. I've been taking care of myself since I was 12. All right. I was raised in the streets. My parents were crackheads for 20 years. Okay. So I was raised that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really clawed myself out of that and clawed myself out of hell as I grew up and put myself in a relationship with my fallen twin. And then, it's been definitely a life. You know what I'm saying? But I clawed my way out of that. You know what I'm saying? And now I sit here 2.5 years later after my awakening, and I realized how much everything in my life has changed, and I am super, super grateful and Most High for the chance that he gave me. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, 4 years ago, I was, selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Racking up my criminal background. Just out there wilding. And one day it was like, hello, what are you doing? You have a purpose. You have a path. You're destroying your life. You need to get up and break those generational curses. What are you doing? You were meant to break this generational curse, and you're over here indulging in it. You know what I'm saying? God woke me up. All right. And it was 11:11 on the timer when I was saying that. But it's very amazing to me how Most High has, liberated and started to liberate everybody, not just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the catalyst to everybody's awakening in my home, in my bloodline. All right. And then come to find out, a few months ago, maybe not even a year ago, I come from a long line of witches. All right. Like, long line of witches. And my mom thought that she was, helping us by keeping us in the dark, that she comes from a long line of witches, that she was breaking that generational curse by not telling us where we really come from and what my ancestors and her ancestors really were about. You know what I'm saying? And those are things that are coming out in my life now. Okay. I started my own journey without knowing, 12:12 on the timer, that, I come from it. You know what I'm saying? That my gifts were naturally given to me. You know what I'm saying? One day after my awakening, I'm sleeping. You know what I'm saying? In my bed. It's late and I'm sleeping, and in my dream, I have a dream that I'm in the spirit realm, and my ancestors, well, in specific, my great grandma. Okay, because both of my grandmas are still alive, all right? And, like, they're super healthy. Like, we age very well. But my great grandma, she came to me in the spirit, and in the spirit, she gave me a bag, all right? And when I grabbed the bag and I opened it, it was full of eyes. And all of them were looking at me. And I looked at it, and I just felt so proud and grateful. And I looked at my grandma and I said, thank you. And when I said thank you, when I looked again, I was surrounded by my ancestors, my spirit guides, my full spiritual court. Okay. And they were all like super happy that I had received my gift. Now, at first, when I dreamt it and I got up, I didn't really realize that was what that meant. All right. I was like, wow, what a curious dream. Because I was at the beginning of my awakening. I was, just starting to cleanse my home, and not even smudging, cleanse with prayer and shit, because I was tired of how much pain I was in, and how much my spirit was dragged down and no light. All right. So yeah, I started looking, and at that time I did not understand what that dream meant, but the more awakened I became, my ancestors just kind of started communicating with me at 14:11 on the timer and letting me know what everything meant, 14:14. And you guys may be going through something like this, all right? And it's okay for you to accept that things have changed, all right? The Most High is giving you this beautiful beginning in your life, all right? Some of you guys have had a horrible childhood like I did, all right? And it weighed heavy into your adulthood, but and you always wonder, like, why, you know what I'm saying? But whatever your purpose and your path is, that's why, okay? But Spirit is saying, like, it's okay for you to realize that, you're so powerful that I need you for certain things here to help the collective. It's okay for you to realize and know that I've given you the power. You know what I'm saying? Because some of you guys are doubting your power, your ascensions, or you're doubting your north node. Although Most High has put it in there, you've done the work, you're doing the work, but you're still doubting that that's meant for you. If that makes any sense. Let me tell you something. All right, I've been reading tarot already for 2 years. I started on YouTube first, and Most High guided me to stop and go to TikTok. Now, I had a regular TikTok page when I was in my karmic self, you know, where I did whatever, and I did pretty well, all right? But I was guided to stop that at once, you know, and then when I was guided to go back to TikTok, you know, I was guided to do tarot on TikTok. Now, on TikTok, I grew and stuff, but Most High kept telling me, like, slowly, you will win this race. You know what I'm saying? And that thing kept, you know, that message kept coming up in my mind. 15:55 on the timer. That message came up on my mind. All right, a lot. Slowly, you will win this race. All right, just don't give up. Okay. All right. A year and a half went by. You know, I kept doing the work. I kept doing the things that I had to do. Okay, and you know, things were moving, but very slowly. 16:16. Things were moving, but very slowly. But, you know, in this time, Most High's been showing me, like, for you to get to where you need to be at, for you to get to where I want you to be at, you know, to the purpose that I put you to be at, you have to completely have done the work. You know what I'm saying? You can't skip levels. All right, you have to do the work you know, one by one. And when I realized, you know, that was exactly the message that my spirit team was really trying to get to me, okay, to acknowledge the fact that I had to not skip no levels and do the work completely as they're putting it in my face, you know, because my experiences would guide the collective, obviously. Okay, so as I was realizing that, you know, spirit put in me, you know, to know that if you hold on to something so tightly, okay, because it, like me, I saw my future, so I jumped at it. All right, the first thing I did was jump at it. All right, when I realized that I was meant to be a reader, I jumped at it, you know, because I am a go-getter. I've always, when I want something, I go get it. That's just what it is, you know, and I've always got it. Like, that's just what it is. But Most High told me not this. He was like, this is something you truly have to work for. All right. He told me you have to do the work because other people will be looking at you as a collective to actually, you know, follow, for you to help, you know, for you to help them through their awakening, through their challenges in life, through their warfare. You have to learn how to put those experiences into words. So I did that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I've been focusing on, okay? And God has blessed me tremendously, okay? So, you know, some of you guys have been going through something similar, okay? You've been shown your path and you tried to jump at it, so maybe things were moving slow. Then they picked up a little faster, but still slow, 18:28 on the timer, and during that slowness, you've felt peace, and God showed you everything. He showed you energy and how to deal with it, all right? Spirit is saying, like, whatever's coming next, it's time to war, all right? It's time for you to put those things that you learned, that you've been learning, that your spirit guides have been teaching you, to practice, okay? And stop chasing, chasing in the reverse. Stop chasing things, okay? Just because you thought that they were yours, you know what I'm saying? Let things flow and come to you, okay? It's very, very important that things flow and come to you, all right? Okay. Somebody definitely needed to hear that. Bottom of this deck is have confidence and entrepreneur, and be honest with yourself, all right? Yeah, I feel like you've been doing the work. You've been praying, meditating, all right? The Four of Swords speaks about prayer and meditation, all right? Relaxing, renewal, solitude, okay? It could also speak about altar work, okay? So some of you guys are practitioners, all right? And you've been guided to start studying it or to start, you know, doing it, all right? To put into practice what you've learned, all right? You've been getting inspired. This is the Nine of Cups for you, okay? This is something you want, you wish for, okay? It's part of your destiny, okay? You could have Pisces in your chart, Libra in your chart, all right? Scorpio. I feel like you are a little overwhelmed maybe on certain things, all right? Maybe you were overwhelmed because you weren't receiving enough, or, you know, bringing in enough because of the time that you had to take, you know, to go within. The Spirit is saying, like, don't worry, all right? You know, Spirit's definitely been giving you mental clarity, a lot of breakthroughs through your journey. 2101 on the timer. All right. Renewing your spirit, your mind. Okay. Yeah. Because you are 2111 on the timer, because you are this High Priestess and this Queen of Swords, all right? You speak the truth, okay? Somebody in the collective has a very, 2121, as I'm saying this, has a very powerful voice, all right? And when you speak things, they come into reality ASAP, okay? It's very crucial for you to get a hold of your power now that you're awakened, okay? And Spirit has been pushing you to get a hold of your power now that you're awakened. Be careful on what you think. Be careful on what you speak out loud, all right? Whoever you are, you're a very quick manifester, okay? And maybe that's why you were like, what's going on? Why is my stuff, you know, slowing down? You know what I'm saying? Because you've always been able to manifest whatever you want. You're a go-getter, you know? You get what you go for, what you want. But this slowness in your life, the stalemate, it was allowed by Most High, all right? No matter how it came in, it was allowed by Most High so that you could transform, all right? So that you can, 2212 on the timer, so that you can heal and you could transform, all right? The Death card signifies endings, beginnings, all right? Transformation, all right? A complete transition on who you truly are. You know, this is you stepping into your North Node, becoming one with your higher self, okay? You definitely could be in a twin flame journey, all right? Some of you guys could be married to your twin flame already, or that's about to come in because you've ascended enough for it, all right? And that's judgment in your life. You could definitely have heavy water in your chart, all right? Pisces moon. I got a Libra moon out here. Capricorn in your chart. You could be an earth sign, or you could have heavy earth in your chart, all right? And be a fire sign, all right? For those of you that don't know, I am an Aries, okay? A fire sign, Aries. Okay, you have this masculine that came out here. For some of you guys, this is you, all right? In this masculine energy, all right? Trying to start a business or trying to realize a vision, or very career focused, okay? You could be studying certain things that you want to do, all right? But this is definitely a renewal for you guys, all right? After a time of turbulence, okay? After a time of, you know, competition, conflict, spiritual warfare, okay? Due to a King of Cups and their betrayal, I just heard, all right? But you are making a lot of progress, all right? You could be in Aries, 24 on the timer, or have heavy fire in your chart. I heard Leo, all right? This is Three of Wands speaks about progress, all right? Making very rapid progress, all right? Definitely having foresight, okay? Going through an expansion, okay? Some of you guys could live overseas. Some of you guys are taking a trip this summer to, I just heard the Bahamas. So take it how it resonates, Empress. All right. You've definitely done the work. The letter B or J could be significant in your life and in this reading. I've never called those letters out. I've always seen them and never called them out. So they definitely can be significant. All right. You're definitely letting go of a lot of illusions. All right. No, you've let go of a lot of illusions. And you're stepping into a time where your gifts are being heightened. All right. So you could be getting a lot of premonitions at this particular time. Ending messages. Yeah, about a painful ending. You're definitely healing from whatever painful ending that, you know, this King of Cups put you in. This is the third party right here. Whoever this is, they only wanted you for what you could give them, all right? You could have thought this was a divine partner, but they weren't. I feel like this right here is your divine counterpart, all right? You and this person wore very well together. You and this King of Pentacles are spiritual warriors, all right? Both of you guys be warring in the spirit. I'm talking to, I feel like I'm talking to somebody who already met their counterpart, the real true counterpart, and you know that that's your real true counterpart, be it together or not, all right? But you and this person, even if you're not completely together yet, you know, you and this person do a lot of spiritual work together in the spirit, all right? Whoever you are, you and this person are married already in the spirit, honey. Yeah. You and this person have had many lifetimes, okay? And for those of you that this person is not here yet, they're very much coming soon in your near future, all right? You've done enough work. You've definitely invested the right things, all right, Empress? Like, so the things that are coming in are going to be good for you, okay? Just keep working hard. Keep meditating, all right? Keep praying. Keep doing your altar work. For those of you who are practitioners, don't give up, all right? Keep going through your journey, okay? Without not giving a fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's your journey, all right? 717 on the time, well, 2717 on the timer. It's your journey, and Most High wants you to honor and trust your journey, all right? It says honor and trust your feelings, okay? So, and the number 27 could be significant. I just seen 2727, but it called rule my attention. Look, new partner. I can't make this shit up. Your real partner will be coming in, okay? And you and this person are spiritual warriors, all right? Have confidence. Both of y'all are very confident, okay? You and your new partner, okay? Whoever this is, okay? Who this King of Pentacles, all right? You and this person are spiritual warriors, all right? You guys fight in God's army together, okay? You and this person be in the spirit kicking butt, okay? Acceptance, all right? Explore your options, all right? So you could be accepting something in your life, all right, and exploring your new options, accepting that somebody else wasn't it, all right, which is bringing in your actual divine counterpart, all right? You accepting this is bringing in, you know, somebody else, all right? Your new counterpart, all right? Your real life partner, all right? This past person was a catalyst, I just heard. And I feel like you've healed and are stepping into your life's purpose, and that includes your divine masculine. Your children are watched over by angels. Like if you have kids, all right, your kids are very, very guarded, all right, by their warring and protective guides, all right? Make a commitment. So some of you guys need to make a commitment, all right, to yourself to be happy, okay? That will help you align as well. 2919. Okay, but that's what I got for you guys today. I hope it resonated. If it did, all right, because this is a beautiful reading. If it did, and you guys are not a part of my collective, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, you guys. All right, what are you waiting for? And also hit my like button, okay? That will keep my videos going on YouTube, okay, you guys? Anything you need to know about me will be in the description below. All right, I am open for personal readings. I really do have to redo my schedule, but you can right now schedule a personal reading with me, okay? My love, in general, readings for 30 minutes are $25, okay? And I go in depth on the divine feminine and the divine masculine, okay? I'm telling you, my readings are worth it, all right? But if you want to book, all my links are in the description below, in my store, my Etsy store, where I sell my ritual products. All right, I make all my candles myself. All right, I grow my own plants, 30-30 on the timer. All right, everything I do is being, you know, I'm being guided by Most High. All right, and all my stuff are blessed by me. Okay, and I tell you what I wanted to do. All right, I love you guys to life. Until next time, bye.